AD 2000X. Household robots Rock and Roll were created by master robot designer Dr. Light and were enjoying their peaceful days. Then, one day, the industrial robots all over the world went on a rampage, and the world fell into total chaos. Dr. Light quickly realized that mad scientist Dr. Wily was behind the nefarious deed, but he did not know what to do. Rock, having a strong sense of justice, volunteered to be converted into a fighting robot. Thus, the super robot Mega Man was born.
So this is the Mississippi King, by the way. Welcome back to my next LP. Let's waste no more time on this. Get straight to it.
Mega Man shattered Dr. Wily's plans 3 times, and world peace has been maintained so far, but history repeats itself. Dr. Cossack, a mysterious scientist, has invented 8 powerful robots and sends them after Mega Man. Mega Man starts for the battle again, this time equipped with a powerful new Mega Buster.
Also, starts for the battle again? I think you mean prepares for the battle again. Well, whatever. This is Mega Man 4. So welcome to Let's Play Mega Man 4 Part 1. And, well, I've got a lot to say about it, let's just say. And we're presented with a new set of 8 Robot Masters. We've got Ringman, Diveman, Skullman, Brightman, Dustman, Drillman, Toadman, and Pharaoh Man. So I'm actually going to be starting with Brightman, just because I think he's a pretty easy robot master, and his weapon isn't half bad either. I mean, like, you'll see what I mean later on, I'll explain it when we get it, but nevertheless, I like his stage, and admittedly his music is some of the best in the game. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really think the music of this game just holds up as well as Mega Man 2 or Mega Man 3. But with that said, I'm about to explain a very controversial opinion I may have. I actually think that this game is on par with Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3. Oh yes, I said it. It is on par. Oh, and there's another new ability we gained that I showed earlier. Now, Mega Man can actually charge his shots, so instead of, like, simply firing rapidly, you can now hold the button down and charge your shot to fire a more powerful blast. This becomes a staple throughout most of the Mega Man series. And I don't just mean the classic series either, it's like, this is also found in like tons of other games that aren't part of the classic series. But nevertheless, yeah, I think that this game is really on par with Mega Man 2 and 3. It gets a lot of, well, I don't necessarily want to say hate, but a lot of people really think that this is where the series grew stale or whatnot. I strongly disagree. I would actually argue that that's what happened with Mega Man 5. But this isn't Mega Man 5. This is Mega Man 4. And I think that it honestly gets too much. Like, not a lot of people seem to care for this game, and I'll admit I don't really like the music as much as Mega Man 2 or 3, but I mean, there are some good tracks. Brightman's stage is pretty good. Nevertheless, there are still a lot of things that I like about this game. While the music may not be as good, the gameplay is still top-notch, and the weapons are freaking amazing. And I will fight you if you say otherwise. Nevertheless, there are some treacherous parts in Brightman's stage, but I don't really need to use Rush Jet for it. It's just not that hard, at least for me. And as for Brightman himself, some people may have problems with him, but I find him to be a cakewalk. So the trick to fighting Brightman without his weakness is to just simply keep your distance from him, like stay as far away from him as you possibly can, because that gives you more time to dodge his shots. And he uses his flash stopper at particular intervals in his health bar. Like when his health bar gets to certain points, then he'll use it once. And like, there's a way you can like ensure that he won't ever use his flash stopper, but I kind of forget how to pull it off. I mean, I believe if you have his weakness, you can just use a regular charged Mega Buster shot and then attack him like that. Like with the Rain Flush, that's its weakness. And when you attack him like that, then he won't use his Flash Stopper ability. At least I don't think he will. But now we're tackling Ringman's stage. And Ringman's stage is a pretty decent level, if you ask me. But some people may not care for it. Personally, while I don't think this game holds up as well as, like, it's not as good as, like, Mega Man 2 or 3, it's still a really great game, and one that I do enjoy a lot. But yeah, it's not really as good as Mega Man 2 or 3, but it is still up there in my mind. So it's like, I think it's really unfair that this game just isn't recognized for what it is. Like, it's kind of divisive if, like, the internet is anything to go by. But yeah, this place has giant hippos, and they're not particularly hard so much as they are time-consuming. I mean, there are weapons that can speed up a fight, and I'm not sure if the Flash Stopper is one, but nevertheless, the Flash Stopper, which is not to be confused with the Time Stopper, which is Flashman's weapon. The Flash Stopper is Brightman's weapon, because that's not confusing at all! But yeah, the Flash Stopper doesn't actually stop time. Basically, it's everything the Time Stopper should have been. Like, the Time Stopper, you use it once, and then you can't shoot, and you use up the entire energy bar. In this, like with the Flash Stopper, instead you use a small chunk of your energy. And so, you use it in small bursts that each use up small chunks of energy, instead of using the whole thing. Furthermore, and this is arguably the most important part about it, you can actually fire with the Flash Stopper. So, with the Time Stopper you couldn't do that, it wasn't much of a weapon. But the Flash Stopper, with the Flash Stopper you can. You can't charge your shot, but that doesn't really matter. Also, this is Eddie, by the way. He gives you a random item and you can actually go back, like if you don't pick up the item, you can go back and so you can get a different item if you don't like the one he's offering. I'm not going to do that, however, I just wanted to show that off, so that y'all know that it can be done. And so anyway, the rest of Brightman's stage should be over pretty shortly since we tackled the slowest parts of it. But yeah, the flash stopper is gonna come in handy quite a bit. I mean, the time stopper should have been this. Like, you don't use up the entire bar, and that comes in handy quite a bit. I really like this game. I just don't know why so many people say this is where the series got stale. Also, a neat thing with the ring guys is that, like, when you reach them, they'll actually, like, you can destroy them, you can go to the right, and then they'll respawn. But Ringman, by the way, is a piece of cake. He also dislikes children, which, you know, it's understandable that a robot may not like children. I mean, they're always, like, fiddling with your gears and messing stuff up and whatnot. But, that's neither here nor there. Point is, Ringman is pretty easy. He may seem hard at first, but he's nothing. He is a joke. You see, you need to just sort of follow a pattern. When he throws his ring boomerang on, like, when he's near your level, you can just do a short hop to jump over it, and then another short hop to jump over it to avoid it. But you can then jump over him when he shoots his ring boomerang into the air. And so with him done, now it's time to actually tackle Pharaoh Man's stage. And apparently Pharaoh Man's bad point is too nice to women. What? I mean, like, I'm not the one who wrote this. I insist that I am only repeating what I heard. Okay, people. Apparently that was a mistranslation and it's supposed to say weak to beautiful women. I'll say that's a mistranslation. Yep. I mean, like, that is just terrible. But, he's not actually weak to beautiful women. His weakness is actually the flash stopper. And the ring boomerang, by the way, is awesome. I mean, it's one of my favorite weapons in the game. It has a fairly short range, but that kind of allows me to be a bit more precise with it. But now we've got the balloon adapter.
Time paradox!
What if we actually took the other route down? Because this is actually another route. That's one thing Mega Man 4 introduced, is some levels read like 2 or 3 if you count Dive Man's stage. But yeah, 2 or 3 levels include multiple routes. That's something this game introduced. And so I'm actually going to show off this new alternate route. And so this route actually contains an energy tank. Now, as for which I find more useful, well, I'll let you be the judge. But this is actually where we're taken, where the paths converge. Like when you get the balloon adapter, that's where you're warped. And so you skip a decent chunk of the level. I just wanted to show that off. Now that we have alternate routes, and this concept will be expanded upon in future Mega Man games, particularly Mega Man 6, but for now it's fairly rudimentary. And that's one thing I like, is that it's nice that they included multiple routes, and so the thing with the alternate routes is that, well, like for this, it's like you have a choice between an energy tank and the balloon adapter. What's the balloon adapter do? Well, basically, it's item 1 from Mega Man 2. You create platforms every time you use it. And so, personally, I find it to be much more useful than an energy tank. And so, like, hey, which would I choose? Well, gee, I don't know. Maybe the balloon adapter? But, yeah, I don't really need an energy tank, so I'll let you be the judge over which one I would choose. With the balloon adapter, it comes in handy quite a lot, and, well, I'm gonna beat this game without using any energy tank, so I'm gonna let y'all decide whether it's worth it to go the other route. I mean, I pretty much never take the routes that doesn't lead to the balloon adapter, so it's like, I always try to get that. Yeah, that's just what I say. And the Pharos Shot, by the way, is a really neat weapon. You remember when I said back in Mega Man 2 about the atomic fire, how I said that I like the concept more than the execution? Well, the Pharos Shot is partly why I said that. I mean, there are some other weapons that I would say are the reasons why I said that, but mainly it's the Pharos Shot, because you can't actually charge it, but when you do, it acts as an umbrella, so you can actually use it to shield yourself against falling enemies, or things that come down, and that can come in handy a lot. There's a point in Drill Man's stage where that is really going to help a lot. And so, with the Pharos Shot, you can also shoot it in any direction except for up and down. I mean, just look at this. I mean, I haven't even used any weapon energy yet, and I'm just plowing through these enemies like it's nobody's business. Like, seriously. It's supposed to be more accurate. The Pharos Shot is more of a combination between, like, the atomic fire and the metal blade, except you can't shoot up or down. But yeah, this is what I mean when I say I like the concept of the atomic fire more than the execution, because I know it can be executed really better than it was in Mega Man 2. And I think this is true. Also, there are snail enemies that, like, you can shoot them when they... So, like, here's the Pharos Shot in action. I'll show it off, and, like, you can shoot in like, every direction except up and down. You can also charge it and shoot in any direction. But I often like to use it as an umbrella that comes in handy more than you may think. But yeah, the snail enemies can also be dealt with using Brightman's weapon. You can freeze them when their eyes are open and just obliterate them that way. Again, the weapons in Mega Man 4 are awesome. And one thing about Pharaoh Man, apparently he has like thousands of henchmen, so he must be the leader of the top secret no good Christian shaman, Buddhist cult cabal. Dang it! There goes my other shoulder! Internet, what is wrong with you? You shot me in the shoulder again! Seriously, what is your deal? Now I lost my other shoulder! Screw you! I thought you all had forgotten that crap! Anyway, a good point about Toadman is natural science. Now, I don't really know what that means, but nevertheless, let's actually fight him. He's gonna be a challenge, I'm sure, and, well, I'm just shooting at him. And he's not attacking. At all. Well, this isn't much of a fight. Well then, I mean, I'm just doing this. All I'm doing is like shooting at him. I mean, like, wow. That wasn't much of a fight. That was very anticlimactic. That was not much of a fight at all. Didn't even take any damage. Toadman is the easiest robot master in history. Apparently Toadman also dislikes a Snake Man. Oh snap! I guess Snake Man's feelings aren't mutual. He doesn't like Snake Man. Anyway, apparently in Japan this game was called Rockman 4, A New Evil Ambition. Could also be A New Ambition, I'm not sure. But that will do it for this episode. Join me next time as we take on the remaining 4 Robot Masters, starting with Dive Man. So see y'all then. This is the Mississippi King signing out.